Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today we are starting exercise 7.5. This is the application of trigonometry. Whatever we have learned in the entire chapter, we will at the end of the chapter will apply to the word problems. So let's begin with it. First, let me share with you the statement of the question that find the angle of elevation of sun if it is 6 feet. 6 feet man cast a shadow of 3.5 feet shadow on the ground. So we will first translate this data or in the question information in the form of uh, diagram, and then we will elaborate the diagram, and finally we will find the solution. So according to this question, we will first form the diagram. So according to diagram, we will first assume that, let's suppose this is the height of a person, vertically straight height is taken as perpendicular one, and on ground this is the shadow. So we will first just label these few parts. Let's suppose this is capital A, this point it is B, and suppose this is point C somewhere here. And you will notice that this entire chapter we will be forming right angle triangles because the right angle triangle is in the syllabus, and this will be for like this one. And according to data, the height of a person, we will assume that B to C represents height of the person, that is 6 feet height, and its shadow on the ground is 3.5 feet. Now we will just explain the diagram in words, and then we will solve it. That you will start like this one, that BC length, BC equals to HEI, height of the person, as we have mentioned in the problem. This is question number one we are solving, right? It is question number one, and this is exercise number 7.5. So once it has been done, you will write the length of the shadow on ground, that is representing AB. This is the length of the shadow, fine. And we have been asked to find angle of elevation. So which angle? If you look at the diagram, angle of elevation will be like this one. This part, you can say it, this is angle, some sort of theta, like this one. This is the required one. So we will write that actually M angle A, this is the required angle that we have to find, fine. But this is angle of elevation of the sun. The reason is this, that because we are writing it in this way, because sun will be at some point C, because whenever the sun is behind some opaque medium, only then shadows are formed. So you can see that this is the shadow sun and its shadow will be on the ground. So what we have to do, that simply we will see that which right angle triangle is formed. So we will write right angle triangle ABC, and in this right angle triangle, because we need to find angle theta, and you can see that in this right angle BC is perpendicular and AB is the base. So we will use trigonometric ratio. Which trigonometric ratio? We will be using tan A. So we will be using tan of A equals to perpendicular, that is BC. Perpendicular is written as BC, and divided by the base, that is AB. So in this value, BC is equals to 6, and base is 3.5. So in the next step, because we need angle A only, so we will keep A on one side and we will shift tan on the other side. So this is how you will shift tan on the other side by placing the value. So you will use your calculator and you will take tan inverse, because we need to find inverse only. So because we have to write the inverse like this one, this is tan inverse. So tan inverse is operated by calculator, and for means that how to operate this tan inverse, you have to keep pressing, or you have to simply press first shift key in your calculators, and then you have to press tan, so it will automatically generate tan inverse. And it must be you have to keep it in your mind that your calculator should be on settings of degree D on the screen. It should not be on radians, it should not be on gradients, it should only be in D. Small d should be visible on the screen for the scientific calculators. And once you will operate it, so your answer will be tan inverse of this value, that is 59.74. Answer should be in degrees. So you will see that right here, your answer will be 59.74 degrees. So this is how you will finish the question. And at the end of the question, uh, you simply have to write the values of answer, that angle of elevation of the sun is 59.74. This finishes the question. And then in this very same pattern, we can solve another question on the same board. So if we start writing from here, we have done this part. And if we simply separate it by a line like this one, if I separate the board so that I can write the next question. So question number, we have done question number 1, and let me share with you uh, next question. It is question number 3 and question number 4. So let me solve question number 3. So for question number 3, we have to read the statement that a 20 feet long ladder is leaning uh, against a wall. The bottom of the ladder is 5 feet from the base of the wall. Find the acute angle. Again, same sort of thing has been asked. So for question number 3, I would recommend that we should make the diagram and you should solve the question yourself. So I will solve translate the statement of the question into the diagram so that you people can easily uh, uh, calculate yourself. So it is very similar to question number 1. So let's begin with it. Question number 3, a 20 feet long ladder and bottom is 5 feet from the base. So how to translate it? Now look at the whiteboard. So it is question number 3 according to ALP or smart syllabus. Question number 3 according to this statement. So you will notice here, let's suppose it is a wall, fine, and we wanted to take a ladder that will be leaning like this one against the wall, and it is the foot of the ladder, and because walls are always perpendicular, they are straight walls, so you have to make a 90-degree angle right here. Then you will start labeling the diagram, which is important. If you will not label the diagram, then you will not be able to explain any concept or elaborate the diagram. So diagram is important. You must redraw it. And it is somewhere here, an angle like this one. This is the required angle that we need to find. So first let me write according to dimensions. This is a ladder. Position of the ladder is right here. I should type it here. This is the ladder. So ladder, and its length is written as, this is 20 feet, I think. 20 feet is the length of the ladder. And what else is written there? You will see from the statement. 20 feet ladder, bottom is 5 feet, and angle is required. Ladder wake with the ground. Fine. So ladder from the bottom distance, if you bottom, this is the foot of the ladder right here, it is a foot of the ladder. Fine. And this foot of the ladder is 5 feet from the wall, so that means this is 5 feet. This is a 5 feet distance. Now what you need to do, simply it is becoming a right angle triangle. As you can see that in the first part we have done the same sort of thing. Now again you will just simply uh, explain the diagram that M measure AC, M stands for measurement, that is AC, it is equals to 20, and this is the length of the ladder according to the question. And then in the next step you will write another distance which is written in the question, that is MAB, and this is what it is. This is equals to 5 feet, and this is actually equals to distance of distance of the ladder foot the wall from the wall. And then obviously what else do you need? We need to find angle A. So you will write here angle A, that will be the angle of elevation, and it has been asked it will be acute, means that it will be less than 90. So same procedure will be done, and for that purpose what will you do, that you will apply right hand right angle triangle, and in this right angle triangle you simply need to what else is required? uh, in right angle triangle, because you can see that hypotenuse is given, base is given, so we will be using cos, fine, trigonometric ratio. We will use cos A. Cos A equals to base over hypotenuse. So base is actually 5 and divided by 20. And then in the next step, if you will solve this equation, uh, cos 5 by 20 is cos and its inverse. You have to place an inverse sign right here, and then you will calculate it 5 by 20 and its cos value, that will be after the calculations, so you will get 75.5 degrees. 75.5 degrees, and if you further convert it into degree minutes, then it will be 75 degrees and 30 minutes. So it will be, it was altogether 75 degrees. This is degree sign, And in case if you want to write it in degree minutes, you need to write it like this one. So the angle of elevation will be 75 degrees and 30 minutes. So I have done completely solved the question number 3 for you. I hope that you have understood. Now we will start the next question. Okay, Dean, let's see the question number 4. According to this diagram, the base of the rectangle is 25 feet, height of the rectangle is 13 feet. Find the angle that the diagonals of the rectangle make with the base. So first of all, we will transform the question number 4 in the form of a diagram. Okay, for this question, we will first draw a rectangle and then we will translate it. You can see that if it is a rectangle and we have to draw a diagonal. So for diagonal, we will label the diagram. This is A, this is B, C, and normally we write the names of the rectangles or parallelograms in a cyclic order. So now once it will be done, according to the statement, it is provided that base is 25 and the width is 13. It is written in the statement of the question. And obviously you can see that AC is actually, uh, this is equals to the diagonal, and AB is equals to 25 centimeter or units, whatever it is written. This is according to the statement of the diagram. This is the length of rectangle, and then we will have uh, BC, that is equals to 13. This is the width of the rectangle, and this will complete the informations. What else is required in the question? We simply need to find this angle of base with the diagonal. So same again question as we have done before. So this is because we are solving question number 4. So this is same sort of question as we have done in question number x is 7.5. So we are solving x is 7.5. Now we need to find it. So again, you will use very simply because perpendicular and base is written. So you will use tan of A equals to, that is perpendicular over base, that is 13 divided by 25. So you have to keep A on one side and shift tan on other side. So you will write tan inverse and tan inverse of 13 by 25. So you do need to write tan inverse or inverse symbol because there's a lot of difference in tan and tan inverse. Fine, because tan inverse key is worked with shift sign and it calculates the angle only. So if we will calculate it, its value will be, that will be 27.47 degrees. 27.47 degrees. So this will be the required angle for base, between the base and the diagonal. So answer will be in degrees. So you can just simply place a sign or symbol right there, and this will finish the question. That is question number 4. Now move to the next question according to ALP, that is question number 8. So let me share with you the question. It is the answer of the question. Now move to the next question. This question is over. Let me start another question. Okay. uh, we have done question number 4 and question number 8, so I hope that you people can solve question number 8, because it is very similar to question number 3 and 4, because you need to, I will just draw the diagram for question number 8 so that you people can solve the triangle yourself. But in fact we will be solving question number 9, that needs a little bit more detail. So question number 8, just let me draw the diagram. Inclined road at an angle of 5.7 degrees and 2 miles up, and we need to find uh, so if we just redraw the diagram, because for next question we will be required bit more space. So let me draw the diagram. It is an inclined road, and this inclined road is making a certain angle with sea level, and we need to find this perpendicular height. You can imagine that this is actually sea level on, this is a sea level, and this will be the road that will be inclined, and this is written as 2 miles is its value or its length. And we need to find an angle. This angle is required as we have done before, same sort of thing. It is written 5.7, angle is already written in the question, that is 5.7 degrees. And what is required to be calculated? We need to find this perpendicular height. This is the height of the, means that the car has traveled from this point to this point at this point. So we have to calculate this height. This is the required height that we need to calculate it, like this one. This is the required height. So we will simply find the perpendicular that is required to be calculated, this height. So you will use once again, uh, what should I say? You will elaborate the diagram, road, label the diagram, and then you will solve. So I will just put the equation. Let's suppose this is A, this is B, and the above is somewhere here. This is point C. And we need to find the height, means BC is required. So you will elaborate the diagram yourself now, because I have mentioned the things. So you will use perpendicular and hypotenuse. So sine will be used. You will write sine of 5.7 degrees equals to height is BC, and divided by hypotenuse, that is 2 units. So once you will solve it in the equation, you need to write 2 times sine 5.7, 2 times sine 5.7 equals to BC. So we will just solve this equation and you will find the answer as well. So this time the answer will be, this is question number, we are solving 8. For question number 8, the answer is, after calculation, 0.199 miles. That will be above sea level. And this is all about question number 8. You just need to elaborate the diagram a little bit, and in this way you will just get the answer. So you will see that the questions or the calculations are very short, 2 line 3 line calculations, but these questions may appear as lengthy questions as well for your board exams. It is question number 8 according to ALP, and now finally we will solve the question number 9. So for that purpose I will have to clear this screen. And I am starting the question number 9. For question number 9, I will just let me write it. We are talking about exercise 7.5 and question number 9. This is the last question from this exercise. So let me read the statement and then we will translate the statement into the diagram. So let's see what it is written in question number 9. So a television antenna of 8 feet height is located on the top of the house. From a point on the ground, the angle of elevation to the top of the house is 17 degrees. Angle of elevation of the top of the house is 17 and the angle of elevation to the top of antenna is 21.8. We need to find the height of the house. In first of all, we will draw the diagram. So how to draw the diagram? Let's suppose this is height of the house and we will complete the little bit part of it just like this one. And if I just change the color, let's suppose antenna is somewhere here. This is antenna, suppose, and its angle is also written. Now if we start labeling the diagram, then I will be in a better easy position to explain that what part of the diagram representing which lengths and which heights. So you will notice that in the question, two angles are written. One is this, another one is starting from this to this. Two angles are written. So first angle, if we read the statement again, you will see that because we are somewhere here, question number 9, television antenna of 8 feet height is located top of the house. From a point on the ground, the angle of elevation to the point to the top house is 17 and antenna is 21.8. Now let me tell you that what is 17 and where it will be. So this will be 17 and this is this length or this angle, you can say that this is 21.8. So this must be 21.8. This angle is 21.8 degrees. And for 21.8 degrees, you have to understand that this is actually the height of the house and this one starting from D to C, this is height of antenna. So just let me type here, this is height of the house and on the top of the house this is written 8 feet antenna. 8 feet antenna is on the top of the house. So height of the house is required to be calculated. This is the question. We are provided two angles. So one angle is for the top of the house, that is at point C. C will be the at the point at top of the house, like at this position. You can say the house is at point C. House top is at point C, and from C to D is the antenna, and we need to find height of the house. Find that is BC will be required. CD as a height of antenna is already written. So you just need to explain the little bit of diagram that BC is representing height of the house, and it is required to be calculated. This will be calculated, height of the house. And then CD is actually length of the antenna, and it is already written in the question that this antenna is 8 feet high. And two angles are written. One, so actually there will be two triangles, and we will be solving them into the parts. Like we will first take right angle. Two triangles are being right angle triangle. One is ABC, and we will solve them simultaneously one by one, and then we will be able to find the answer of BC. So right angle triangle ABC, you can use AB as some length. For example, if I, because I don't know what is the value of this Y, uh, so for right angle triangle ABC, I just want to tell you right angle triangle ABC. AB is actually some length which is not known. So we need to label it some way. Let's suppose we label it as X. A to B is marked as X. So what we will do that we will take first of all tan of 17 degrees equals to that is BC, that is required, divided by base, that is X. So we have formed an equation in which tan 17 will be used. So this is the first equation. If we just simplify it, because we need to find BC only, so I will just write it as, one more thing is required in this part. If we just label it as some height Y BC, so that we can make it little bit shorter. And in next step we just write tan of 17 degrees equals to Y by X, and tan 17 is equals to, numerically tan 17 value. So you will notice that once we will substitute these values, we will actually getting an equation. That's all. Let's suppose this is equation number one, and we will use it later with another solution. Now, what we will do in the next step, that we have to take another right angle triangle, and this time the right angle triangle will be bigger one. That is, let me write the name right angle triangle, because it's very important to write or mention the name of the triangle, ABD. This time ABD is a bigger triangle, and in this triangle we will be again using tan, but this time tan will be of 21.8 degrees because angle is 21.8 for AD and AB. So this will be equals to, and if you calculate the total height, for example, for this part in the within the diagram, you will see that all of this part, this is all together will become, this length will become x plus, sorry, y plus 8 altogether. So we will be using height here as perpendicular, that is y plus 8. If you place small brackets around it for 50, y plus 8, and you divide it by a base x again. And this time you will be getting tan 21.8. That values, tan 21.8 is equals to 0.39. So this is equals to 0.3999. This is equals to y plus 8, and you divide it by x. We should place the brackets, otherwise it will become wrong. And now what is required, that we have actually formed two equations, equation number 1 and equation number 2. We will solve these equations simultaneously to find the value of x and y. So because we need to find BC only, that is y. So what we will do, that we will get the value from equation number 1, like this is equation number 1, and from this above written equation I will derive the value of x. So for value of x will be actually equals to y divided by 0.3057. This is the value which I have just obtained from equation number 1. And what I would like to do, that I will put this value in equation number 2. Putting this value of x in equation number 2. So equation number 2 is, you can see that written right in front of you. You can see that this is equation number 2. So this is equation number 2. Now finally what we have to do, that we have to show the substitution, fine, where it will be placed. So just let me write it here somewhere clearly so that we can write. In equation number 2, first of all, you have to mention this is equation number 2. What I am going to do, I am working on equation number 2. So I am doing it work on equation number 2, and equation number 2 is written as 0.3999 equals to y plus 8. So let me write y plus 8. Y is actually BC, which is required to be calculated, and then divided by x. So what is the value of x we have just calculated? Value of x is in fact y divided by y, and if I place bracket around it, value of x is actually y divided by 0.3057. So I just have to solve this equation and then I'll be able to find the value. So you can see that this is y divided by 0.30. So I do need to show the cross multiplication now to separate the variable y. So what I would like to do, that this part which is in fact denominator, it will be multiplied with this part on the other side. So then the equation will become 0.3999 and multiply it with y divided by 0.3057. Right. This will be equals to, on right hand side, this is y plus 8, already y plus 8. Now I have shifted this part because there was a divisor on the right hand side. I have cross multiplied the term which was in that divisor to the other side. Now you need to actually simplify this expression. 0.399 divided by 0.3057, and this should be within the bracket. I have separated the numericals, and I will keep the variable y outside, which is required, equals to y plus 8, and just simply do it with little bit precaution, and now divide it by 0.3057. It will give me a number that is 1.3083 and times of y equals to y plus 8. Now what else is required? I have to keep y's on one side and all constants on other side. For that purpose, I will shift y from right hand side to left hand side, and I will do the subtraction as well. I will keep 8 only on one side, and if I will subtract 1.308 times of y from subtracted, actually this is uh, 1 time y, which I have shifted from right side. So your answer in the next step will automatically become 0.3083 times of y equals to 8, and then in the next step y will become equals to 8 divided by 0.3083. So if I divide 8 by 0.830, answer of y, it will become equals to 25.94. This will be the value of y, which is actually BC, which is actually the HEI, the height of the house, and this was the required. So this is you have to perform, because the only one question you can say that in which the a little bit more calculations are required. So I just want to tell you that you have to do the calculations by forming two equations in terms of x and y, and then solve for y only, so you can find the height of the house. So this ends the question. I hope that you will understand. Do practice all these parts in your copies, and uh, if you want to ask anything, you can ask as well.